I want the big room over there. In the new room filled with the fresh scent of new wood, Lily said this with a joyful laugh. I paused unpacking. The big room over there? What on earth is Lily talking about? I'll take the corner room here. Even Isaac started saying such things, and I became increasingly confused about the situation. If you resist, I won't take care of you. Isaac glared at me, laughing mockingly. But still, my mind was in turmoil. Huh? Whose house are we talking about? Feeling that I wasn't on the same page with Isaac and his wife, I asked them. Huh? They looked puzzled, and I finally grasped the situation. Ah, I see. That's what this is. This might be a good opportunity to make Isaac and his wife, who have been exploiting me for so long, realize their mistakes. Don't miss this chance. I was filled with a fighting spirit. My name is Mariah. I am turning 65 this year. My husband passed away from cancer a few years ago. By the time the cancer was found, it was too late, and he passed away a few months later. The suddenness of it all left me unable to keep up, and for a while I lived like a shell of a person, just eating, going to the bathroom, taking baths, and ending my days. My legs have also gotten worse recently, and I'm struggling a bit living alone. The one who brought vitality to my will to life was my eldest son, Isaac. That year, Isaac decided to get married, and he wanted to live with his wife, Lily. I was surprised when Isaac suddenly brought up living together. Until then, Isaac had been living in company housing at the local bank where he worked. I had assumed they would naturally set up a new home together once married. But contrary to my expectations, Isaac and his wife wanted to live with me. I hadn't met Lily yet, and didn't know what kind of person she was. But for me, who had lost the love of my life and had a gaping hole in my heart, Isaac's offer to live together felt like a consolation from God. Of course, we'll contribute to the household expenses. Ah, that's fine by me. Before I knew it, I had readily agreed. Isaac looked at me and smiled contentedly. Understood. Then I'll bring Lily next week. Thank you. With that, Isaac left. Isaac can be a bit rough around the edges, but I figured it was just his way of showing some rebellion in front of his parent. To me, he was still my dear child. Suddenly, my lonely life seemed to brighten up. A week later, as promised, Isaac and his wife came to my house. We're here! Despite being a first meeting, Lily entered with loud footsteps, which surprised me. She was the same age as Isaac, 30, yet she wore a skirt shorter than knee length and had her hair dyed pink. Her nails were flashy and glittery too. Hello, you're Lily, right? That's right. But what's this? This house is so old and cramped. I was taken aback when she badmouthed my house without even a proper greeting. Right, but it's better than nothing. Just bear with it. Yeah. Isaac's way of speaking was drastically different from when he proposed living together a week ago, leaving me increasingly bewildered. However, since I would be living with Isaac and his wife from now on, I thought it would be best not to start off on the wrong foot, and offered them seats and coffee. Lily, do you work? Work? Why would I bother with something so tedious? So Mariah, do you work? No, I'm a housewife. Wow, so you're living off your husband's survivor benefits. Must be nice. You can live leisurely. Despite being a housewife herself, Lily sneered at me as if mocking my circumstances. I do receive survivor benefits, but that's my only income. I'm far from wealthy and barely managing to get by day to day. Living leisurely is nothing but a dream. Anyway, Lily, how about we divide the household chores? Since we're both housewives, shall we split it equally? Wanting to change the subject, I suggested this to Lily. Living together means helping each other out in daily life. I assumed that since Isaac would be working and contributing financially, Lily would help with household chores. But Lily visibly frowned at my suggestion. What? Share household chores? Mariah, please do them all. I don't know anything about this house and am busy hanging out with friends. Lily, having said this, glared at me as if pushing all responsibilities onto me. Well then, just help out when you can, please. Unable to make a strong request to Lily, whom I just met today, I ended up conceding on the issue of household chores. Lily smirched triumphantly. I dreaded the thought of our future living together. Life with my son and his wife was turning out to be nothing like I had imagined. Firstly, Isaac, busy with work, would come home late at night. True to her initial declaration, Lily did not help with the household chores at all. I thought she might at least manage the garbage disposal, but apparently she struggled to wake up early enough to put it out on time. Reluctantly, I found myself doing all the household chores for 3 people. Before living together, I felt saved from the loneliness of not having my husband, but now I regretted it, thinking I might have been better off alone. Lily didn't just avoid chores, she went out every day. I had guessed she liked to party because of her flashy appearance, but going out every day was something else. Truly a life of luxury. Lily always came home carrying bags from well-known international brands. Something I, living on a pension, could never afford. Where did you get the money to buy these? I asked. I bought them with my allowance, obviously, and she scoffed. But I knew Isaac's salary wasn't enough to afford multiple high-end brand products. If she saved her allowance to buy them, I'd understand. But purchasing them daily meant there was no time to save. I wondered where she got all that money. Another unexpected thing happened for me. Isaac didn't contribute financially to the household. A month after we started living together, I checked at the bank, thinking Isaac might have transferred money from his salary account to our household account by now. But there was no transfer from Isaac. Before living together, I'll contribute financially to the house, Isaac had said. Perhaps he was just delayed or forgot. With that thought, I didn't question it and went home. But even after 2-3 months of living together, Isaac never contributed financially. I had to tell Isaac that I couldn't manage the expenses for 3 people on my pension alone. Could you contribute a little to the household? I'm really struggling. Sorry, I forgot. I'll start doing it from next time. Hearing he had forgotten, I naively believed him, thinking he would start contributing from the next month. But Isaac's promise was just an excuse, like placating a child, and he never actually made a transfer. Despite my repeated requests, Isaac, often returning home drunk, would forget or perhaps pretended to forget. Eventually, I had no choice but to start working part-time. My job was at a nearby florist. Returning to work was exciting and enjoyable, but long hours were tough for my body, now over 60. Yet the pressure to earn for 3 weighed heavily on me, working 6 to 8 hours a day. Almost like a full-time employee, then coming home to prepare dinner for 3. Even after I started working, Lily showed no sign of helping with household chores. Instead, she would throw tantrums like a small child over my cooking. What is this? It's awful. I wanted curry. Make it again. Then, like a small child, she threw a tantrum and overturned the plate. It wasn't just a one-day occurrence. Repeatedly, she complained about my cooking according to her daily whims. Filled with anger and sadness, I had no choice but to silently remake the meals. I longed to escape this slave-like life. This can't go on. My instincts were telling me that. I decided to find a hobby to distract myself and asked the florist manager, "Do you have any suggestions for a hobby I can do at home?" I asked. The manager, still young in her 40s and evidently a beautiful woman in her 20s, fitting perfectly in the florist shop suggested. How about handmade crafts? If you like, you can use flowers from here. Encouraged by her, I decided to make flower-based accessories. Making accessories was a lot of fun. Being naturally skilled with my hands, I quickly got the hang of it, and my creations were as good as those bought from stores. The knowledgeable manager even told me about a website where I could sell my handmade items. I listed my accessories on the site, and within a week, orders started increasing, and I began earning income from it. Joyful at earning from my hobby, I immersed myself in making accessories. Seeing me, Lily scoffed. What? People actually buy these? But I paid her no attention. Realizing I was ignoring her, Mariah, you're just a useless old person, a burden on society, she spitefully said, but I didn't react. Whatever Lily said, I was no longer afraid. 5 years passed since I started making accessories, and I turned 65. Recently, I bought a house nearby. I loved my current job with memories of my husband, but it was old in many places as it was secondhand. So I was pleased to be able to buy a new house. I had been thinking about living there with Isaac and his wife. Holding the floor plan of the new house, Lily peered over. Wow, is this the new house? Are you moving? Lily's enthusiasm was surprising, given her usual grumpy demeanor. Yeah, that's right. Wow, it's so spacious. Lily was captivated by the floor plan, forgetting herself. For the first time in 5 years of living together, I saw a childlike side to her. Then I got busy buying furniture for the new house and packing for the move. Isaac and Lily, as usual, did whatever they pleased. On moving day, I had friends help with the large items, so I left with just a suitcase. The new house must be spacious. It is! I've seen the floor plan! Isaac and Lily seemed eager to see the new house, more excited than usual. I took them to the new house. The stylish black exterior and wooden door, the spacious yard. They were both amazed. The yard was my touch, planning to grow flowers for my hobby. Inside, the large room satisfied me immensely. It was a good decision to have a single-story house with handrails, considering my bad legs. Unbelievable! So spacious and beautiful! Better than expected. They excitedly explored the house, claiming rooms as if it were theirs, raising cheers every time. I started feeling uneasy. After they had seen all the rooms, they came back to me. I want that big room over there. In the new room with the fresh smell of wood, Lily said this with a laugh. I stopped unpacking. The big room over there? What is Lily talking about? I'll take the corner room here. Isaac too started claiming rooms, and I became increasingly confused. If you defy us, we won't take care of you. Isaac glared at me mocking, but my mind was still in turmoil. Huh? Whose house are we talking about? Realizing that I wasn't on the same page with Isaac and his wife, I asked. Huh? Their puzzled looks made me finally understand the situation. Ah, I see. That's how it is. This might be a good opportunity to teach Isaac and his wife, who have exploited me so much, a lesson. Don't miss this chance. I was filled with a fighting spirit. This house, I bought it for myself. I told Isaac and his wife, standing frozen in front of me, about why I bought the house. The old house was getting worn out, and I had been thinking about ending our living arrangement. I thought that for Isaac and Lily, living alone without me might be more comfortable. End the cohabitation? What are you talking about? That's right. I thought we could live in this house. They were both taken aback by my sudden revelation. To me, it was unbelievable that Isaac and his wife even wanted to continue living together. Moreover, I never said anything about living together in this new house. If I had planned to live with them, I would have consulted them about the layout. I had never discussed the house with Isaac and his wife, so it was surprising that they assumed they could live there too. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear, but I was worried that if I explained in detail, you would insist on coming along. And since I was only packing my things, I thought you would have realized by now. Like today, you came to see my new house, didn't you? After all, Lily, you hate my cooking and the way I clean, right? That's not... I never thought Lily would want to continue living with me, I said with heavy sarcasm, and Lily was lost for words. But how can Mom afford such a house? No matter how much I searched the family accounts, I couldn't find anything. Isaac turned pale as he realized he had let slip. I knew Isaac had been stealing from the household finances. I kept quiet, waiting to see when he would come to regret his actions. If he had shown any remorse, I might have discussed the new house with him. But since he didn't contribute financially, and even use the household money, I decided not to hold back. What? I earned it myself. About 5 years ago, remember? I started making accessories as a hobby. The florist manager suggested it. At first, I was only selling a little on a website, but then a famous influencer shared my accessories on social media. That boosted my sales and income. Yes, I bought the house with the success of my accessory sales. Of course, just being popular on social media wouldn't earn enough to buy a house. I accepted offers from various apparel and accessory companies, did tie-up projects, and advertised. It was because of the rough cohabitation with Isaac and his wife that I wanted to use the significant money I couldn't earn from part-time work on a new house. No way! That can't be true! Lily shouted in disbelief, facing the reality. Lily, now 35, had barely worked in her life. Yet she spent lavishly on luxury brands. She couldn't possibly understand how to earn money. I know about you, Lily. You dropped out of school, fought with your parents, and left home. I heard it from your parents. Without a place to live, you worked in night jobs, lying about your age. I feel sympathy for that, but after quitting, you didn't do anything but hang around bad friends, buying luxury goods, and even shoplifting. What? Lily was shocked, not expecting me to bring up her shoplifting. I suspected her shoplifting about a year after we started living together. She always wore expensive brands, which was suspicious. Isaac's salary couldn't afford such brands. I first suspected shoplifting. One afternoon, when Lily went out, I followed her and saw her shoplifting. I could have confronted her then, but knowing her, she would have talked her way out. I recorded her shoplifting, planning to hand it over to the police if she didn't reform. Look, I have the evidence. Showing the video, Lily's face stiffened further. She was speechless, knowing she couldn't refute the evidence, and hung her head. And Isaac, stealing money from the bank where you work is despicable. You must have been in debt. How does Mom know that? Now it was Isaac who started to tremble. To them, I must have seemed like a police officer confronting them about their crimes. The daughter of my florist manager, you see, joined your company this year as a new graduate, and she's in the same department as you. She told me that she saw you pocketing money that you were supposed to deposit from customers. But as a newbie, she didn't want to be rude in case it was a mistake, so she hasn't told anyone yet. But I thought it's just like you to steal money from your own department. This was just something I heard, but given that Isaac never contributed financially to our home and was stealing from the household funds, it seemed plausible. That ungrateful girl! After all the training I gave her? Isaac was shaking with anger, thinking about the manager's daughter. Hearing his words, I realized he had admitted to theft and seized the moment. All the training you gave her? You must think you're the most important person in this house, right? Acting all high and mighty at work, looking down on others. But sorry, that doesn't work on me. Look at this house as an example. I earned money with my own efforts and bought it. You're not superior. I'm not saying I am either, but I refuse to let you take away this house that I bought with the money I worked hard for. Get out right now! My shout sent them scurrying out of the house, screaming in fear. I sighed in relief. From tomorrow, I won't have to see those two anymore. Just thinking about it made my heart feel lighter. Later, I reported Isaac and Lily's crimes to the police. The police quickly investigated, but it was clear from the security footage that Lily's shoplifting and Isaac's theft were true. Seeing my child and his wife being taken away by the police didn't stir my heart. I could only think they should do their best. At first, I was happy with Isaac and his wife's company, thinking they were comforting me. But living with two people who did whatever they wanted was stressful. Now I realize that they proposed living with me just to have me do the housework while they relax. I feel refreshed now that I'm free from their sarcastic remarks and theft. Even if Isaac and Lily are released from police custody, they will be busy repaying their debts. Given their inability to do housework, their marriage is bound to fail. But I'm determined not to help them anymore. I've sworn to live a life unconnected to Isaac and his wife. While continuing my part-time job at the florist, I put even more effort into my accessory making. When I revealed that the flowers used in my accessories were from the florist where I work, the shop was flooded with customers like never before. Responding to customers who wanted to use flowers as accessories, I started selling flowers for this purpose. The manager told me, "If your accessory business is doing so well, you can focus on that." But I shook my head. After all, it was the manager who suggested this hobby to me. I think it's best if I can use the flowers from the florist in my accessories, benefiting both the shop and me. I plan to continue working and pursuing my hobby, stepping into a new phase of life.